Hi, welcome to Stories from the Porch. Tonight we have a drag queen story time with our friends Empress Claudia Silva and Macy Manolo from Pride Niagara, here to join us and read us some wonderful stories.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Thank you.
Hi, hope we're doing well.
Tonight we have...
And we're also on live on the it's like double. This is fantastic. But anyways, happy Wednesday. Yeah, I'm Macy. This is Claudia. We're gonna be doing some drag queen story time, and then after that, we're gonna be doing some questions and answers. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in, and we'd love to answer them for you. It'd be a lot of fun.
And the questions don't have to necessarily be directly about the stories. It could be about us. It could be about something you've wondered about, or something that you just have always wanted to ask that's LGBTQ plus positive, and something you want to learn about. So any questions you have, feel free.
Yeah, I love it. And we have a big audience here today. You can't see right now, but there's probably about 36 people here.
It's almost intimidating.
It is.
It's a lot.
Get off the road. Watch out for the cars, guys. Watch out for the cars. All right. So my book I'm going to be reading today is actually one of my favorites, and I've read this one before, and it's called I Am Jazz.
Awesome.
Have you heard of it?
I haven't heard of that one
No?
yet.
Oh, it's really good.
Okay.
And thank you to our friends from the Silva Spired Church for giving us these books to read today.
Loaning.
Loaning. Yes,
Loaning.
loaning. We'll
Gotta
give
reach
them back, we promise.
It's
No. So I really love this book. And I actually really love your book too. All right. So my book is called I Am Jazz.
Why don't you marry it?
And maybe I will.
Well, there you go.
All right. Here we go.
It's my favorite.
Hopefully you
job.
can see it. If not, just pretend you can see the pages. And it's really pretty. I am jazz. For as long as I can remember, my favorite color has been pink. My second favorite color is silver. And my third favorite color is green. My favorite color is red. I added that part, by the way.
Gotcha.
Here are some of my other favorite things: dancing, singing, backflips, drawing, soccer, swimming, makeup, and pretending I'm a pop star. Me too. Most of all, I love mermaids. Sometimes I even wear a mermaid tail in the pool. I'm kind of jealous because I wish I had a pool.
I've seen her wear a mermaid tail.
This is true. This is true. But just like floating
Not
around
in-
Thorold.
Not in the pool.
My best friends are Samantha and Casey. We always have fun together. We like high heels and princess gowns, or cartwheels and trampolines. But I'm not exactly like Samantha and Casey. And that's okay. I have a girl brain but a boy body. This is called transgender. I was born this way. Oh, she's coloring, I love it. When I was very little and my mom would say, "You're such a good boy," I would say, "No, Mama, I'm a girl." At first my family was confused. They'd always thought of me as a boy.
Everyone can make mistakes.
Oh, of course. We'll let it fit slide with you, but only a couple times. As I got a little older, I hardly ever played with trucks or tools or superheroes. Only princesses and mermaid costumes. My brothers told me this was girl stuff. I kept right on playing. My sister says I was always talking to her about my girl thoughts and my girl dreams, and how one day I would be a beautiful lady. She would giggle and say, "You're funny, kid." Sometimes my parents let me wear my sister's dresses around the house, but whenever we went out, I had to put on my boy clothes again. This made me feel sad. Still, I never gave up trying to convince them. Pretending I was a boy felt like telling a lie. Ballet, I love ballet. Then, one amazing day, everything changed. Mom and Dad took me to meet a new doctor who asked me lots and lots of questions. Afterward, the doctor spoke to my parents and I and heard the word transgender for the first time. That night at bedtime, my parents both hugged me and said, "We understand now. Be who you are. We love you no matter what." They are getting A+s because they are awesome parents. This made me smile and smile and smile. Hi. Mom and Dad told me I could start wearing girl clothes to school and growing my hair long. They even let me change my name to Jazz. Being Jazz felt much more like being me. Mom said that being jazz would make me different from other kids at school, but that being different is okay. That what's important, she said, is that I'm happy with who I am, and I think it's pretty awesome being different. That's the way to be in life. Being jazz caused some kids to be confused too, like the teachers at school. At the beginning of the year, they wanted me to use the boys' bathroom and play on the boys' team in gym class, but that didn't feel normal to me at all. I was happy when the teachers changed their minds. I can't imagine not playing on the same team as Casey and Samantha. Even today, there are kids who tease me or call me by a boy name or ignore me altogether. This makes me feel crummy. Then, I remember that the kids who get to know me usually want to be my friend. They say I'm one of the nicest girls at school.
You are one.
Oh, I like to try to be one of the nicest girls at school, but way back in the day. I don't mind being different. Different is special. I think what matters most is what a person is like on the inside. And inside, I am happy, I am having fun, I am proud, and I am jazz. And there we go. A beautiful book.
Beautiful.
Feel free to check it out at your local chapters or Indigo, maybe on Amazon as well. Options.
You're a big Amazon fan.
I love Amazon. What can I say? My earring's falling off. There it is.
Oh dear.
Yeah, just a simple Wednesday afternoon earring.
Where's Samantha when you need her, your best friend?
Ah, Samantha and Casey, where'd they go?
See? Maybe you should have asked somebody else for your help. Oh, not Samantha and Casey.
I'll put that there.
I would have been right here to help you.
Aw, bless.
That's a wonderful story.
It really is. There was a TLC show about this, too.
Was there?
Do you remember that show? No, this was
No.
like back in the... There used to be a TLC show called I Am Jazz.
And it's about the
Yeah.
story that's in the book.
It's legit about, like, this jazz person is a real life... Yeah.
Awesome.
And she's the one who wrote this,
Maybe I do remember that. How long ago was that?
Oh, gosh. So I've been 27 for a few years now.
Yeah.
This
I
was,
hear you.
Yeah, it was quite a few years ago. I'd say maybe 10 years ago.
10 years ago you were 27, or 10 years ago this story was?
That's enough
I
out of
think
you,
I
Claudia
do
Silva. That's
vaguely
enough out of you.
recall
Well,
it.
you never know.
I do.
It was a great show. It was on the same time as like John and Kate plus 8.
I never watched
Oh,
that.
good. Okay, good.
So many people did, remember? That's
Oh, it was
massive.
so popular.
It was.
Oh, poor Kate,
I'm warm.
right?
I don't know about y'all, but
Well,
I'm
that
just
was
gonna
beautiful
fan
story,
a little
though.
bit. Thank you. I really enjoyed that story. And Claudia and myself and some of our friends with Pride Niagara were actually really lucky to join Silver Spire Church on a few different occasions in the last year to do Drag Queen Story Time. So it was really cool that they invited us into the church
That's awesome.
to present.
And the best part of it, they had cookies.
Oh my gosh, Silver
They
Spire,
had
great
They had cookies.
Yeah.
Really.
And there were like I think
Cookies from Jesus. That's the best type of cookies. They're calorie free.
The best
the
kind.
best time.
Cookies from the Lord.
But we had like 100 people at the church the first time we did it.
Wow,
And
that's,
they put
that's
out little
incredible.
blankets all around us, and there
Yeah.
were 4 queens. And the kids just came right up, and it was so exciting for them. They're just like, whoa. And they were more so excited about the jewelry, and
Right.
they could have cared less about the story, I
So
think.
am I, though.
But there's like, wow, what's this?
So sparkly.
Well, exactly.
Right?
Or
And
the
it was Harrietta
Harrietta.
and Helen Heels.
Miss
or
Pride,
Miss
yeah.
Pride Niagara. There was 4 of us. And it was a lot of fun. And it's just a great opportunity to ask the questions that you may not necessarily feel comfortable with. And I find that most people that were completely comfortable and they weren't asking questions about the story or anything to figure out what their journey was or wasn't, or answer any questions that they might have been longing. It was the kids. They were perfectly fine. They were telling us, like, I have the same dress, or I have a hat,
Oh, great.
and
I love
I'm
it.
in unicorn. It's like, oh, that's brilliant. Or just all the fun things. They just wanted to play, so they were completely easy with it. And I feel the stories that sometimes were more for the adults,
Mm-hmm.
and because the kids, they were already well aware of
Mhm.
what the tea was. They knew what the deal was. So they were. Good
That's
with it.
awesome.
Kids are
Yeah.
smarter than we give them credit for.
They
Putting
sure
that out
are.
there.
They sure
They
are.
know.
It's very true. Well, I have another book. This book hits home a lot because she looks like me in the morning. My book is called I Like Myself, which is very important to do. So I'm going to read the page and then I'll show everyone the pictures. Do you remember the story?
I do remember. Actually, I remember your commentary during this story.
Oh. I'm one for commentary. I like to chat. I like to share the love. I like myself. I'm glad I'm me. I'll run around being all glad. There's no one else I'd rather be. There are so many other people. So everybody's so different. So many different looks. I like my eyes. I like my ears. My nose. I like my fingers and my toes. I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes it's not easy to like your nose or your toes. So it's very important to try and realize that they're yours. So you gotta like them and love them. I like me wild. I like me tame. I like me different and the same. Right?
I like the balloon, and it's red.
Can't go wrong with balloons. Can't go wrong with balloons. I like me fast. I like me slow. I like me everywhere I go. This person has a very good imagination. Ooh. I like me on the inside too, for all the things I say and do. It's very important to like you on the inside because everything starts from the inside. So whatever you feel on the inside, you can show on the outside. I think I look a little more like this, but with this person's nose. And that's okay. Inside, outside, upside down, from head to toe and all around. I like it all. I like all is me. And me is what I want to be. Oh, look adorable. This person's got a lot to say. I don't care in any way what someone else may think or say. Very important. I may be called a silly nut or a crazy cuckoo bird. So what? I'm having too much fun, you see, for anything to bother me.
Are you a crazy cuckoo bird or a nut?
I have been called a crazy cuckoo bird several times. And my mom tells me that all the time. And my mommy loves me. So it must be a good thing. I'm good with that. And as long as I love me and I'm loving to everyone else, that's what matters. I don't think I would dance in the fountain.
Remember that one trip to to Kentucky?
Next page.
All right.
This hits home. Even when I look a mess, I still don't like me any less. Because nothing in this world, you know, can change what's deep inside. And so, this is my hair in the morning. 100%.
It's 110% actually.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, can change what's deep inside me. And so, no matter if they stop and stare, no person ever, anywhere, can make me feel that what they see is all there is to me. Even this officer. This big blue whistle. I still like me with fleas or warts, with a silly snout that snorts. Everybody has things to love about themselves. We're all different. Or knobbly knees or hippo hips. This hits home, kids. Hippo hips are hard to deal with. You still gotta love yourself. Or knobby knees or hippo hips. Or purple polka dotted lips. Look at that.
Oh, that's cute. Mm-hmm. That must have taken a long time to do those lips.
Definitely. A lot longer than I could take.
Uh-huh.
And the tongue hanging out, that's awesome. Or beaver breathe, or stinky toes, or horns protruding from my nose. Or yikes with spikes all down my spine, or hair that's like a porcupine. I still would be the same, you see. I like myself because I'm me. Oh, that's a beautiful story.
I love that book too.
I love this book too. And that's called I Like Myself. By a Karen, no doubt. Go on, Karen. See, there are wonderful Karens in this world. She is one of them. Actually, one of our board members at Pride Niagara, her name is Karen, and she's an amazing person. And she's helping do so many beautiful things for the Niagara region for the past 10 years. So, proof that Karens can be wonderful.
Karens can be good.
Karens can be good. and
Awesome.
help.
They're getting a bad rap sometimes.
They are. Some of them, you know, their own doing, but they're okay.
I love it.
Why, thank you.
Cool. Well, now we can open it up to some Q&A, or we can just tell real life story times if you want to know more about this Kentucky trip.
Yes, I definitely do.
Please.
Kentucky trip.
You want to tell it or
You can tell the Kentucky
Okay.
trip.
So Claudia and I are members of, is it the largest LGBT or?
It is the second largest and second longest running LGBTQ plus not-for-profit fundraising organization internationally.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
we travel.
Very much.
Yay, it's really amazing. It's called the
Fantastic
Imperial
group.
Court.
It's been just going over 50 years.
Wow.
50-ish
It's
years?
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we travel quite a bit. Rhode Island is probably our favorite. Hi,
I don't know you, but hi.
She's my ear doctor at Hearing Life or whatever it's
Cool.
called. Next to the 7-Eleven on
You've
that
got a
street.
lot of work for you because she does not listen.
But she knows why.
It's true.
Stuff like that. But anyways, so we travel quite a bit. This year, unfortunately, COVID ruined our plans. Rhode Island is our favorite. We go for about a week, and we just go to this huge charity gala. So we spend quite a bit of money to go and to support these organizations. And people come from all over Canada, the U.S., Mexico. People come as far as Hawaii to these different events. There's over 52 chapters.
There's over 52 chapters internationally.
Internationally.
And it's what you would think about as a traditional ball scene, which now is being a lot more popular. So, but this took it one step further to do it a lot more fundraising and charity for organizations. So they elect monarchs from each realm, and then they have a court, and they'll give out titles. There's competitions for the best walk, the best in theme, and then people would fundraise throughout the entire year. And then the money they raise, they donate to whatever the chosen charities are that year. So it adds a little positive spin on the narcissism that often takes over sometimes.
It's true. A lot of big jewelry in these events, big gowns. If you're not wearing a big gown and big jewelry, like, what's going on sometimes? But
Genetic.
it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's just big dress up. But so we were in Kentucky. we had a road trip, and there were 4 of us. You, myself, Thomas, and Rhonda.
Rhonda Richards.
Rhonda Richards, another amazing drag queen.
Amazing drag queen from Niagara. She's our queen mother in the Niagara region. She's been doing drag for probably like 130 years now.
At least.
At least.
She was at
if
the
she's
Last
a
Supper.
day. If she's a day.
She's not watching. She can't work Facebook. No, but if you are, hey girl.
The machine.
And she's saying, Manolo. But we love Rhonda. So we actually do a lot of road trips with Rhonda. So we go to Kentucky, and we're in Lexington. And it's funny, because in Claudia's book, it talked about the water fountain. And right across the street from our hotel was something called Triangle Park. And it was all water fountains. There were these huge water fountains, and then there were just like random water fountains like on the ground that would go up, or the cascading ones. It was so cool. So it was very hot in Kentucky when we went. Extremely hot. So Rhonda and I, and we weren't in drag. So we were just, our normal outfits and normal day clothes. This is Claudia's normal day clothes.
This is my day clothes.
But Rhonda and I might have enjoyed a couple libations throughout the day. I know. And we decided to go swimming in the water fountains. And there are pictures somewhere. I have to find them. But Rhonda and I are just like sitting in the water fountain, basking in all of our glory. We haven't been invited back.
I'm so pleased to be in these water fountains running around and kept telling all us stories. You're not supposed to go in fountains. The children aren't even going to fountains.
But the adults from Canada were. But it was fun.
It's a beautiful place. So we took a lot of nice pictures in front of the fountains as well.
Yes.
And they did a lot of money. I think that was one of their highest fundraising years too. So it's fun. It's fun and fundraising.
Exactly. Exactly. They put the fun in fundraising.
Fun and
Which is
fundraising.
cool. And a shout out to Miss Drew. She's the current Empress of the entire waterfall empire. So pretty much from the Kitchener-Waterloo area all the way throughout Niagara. She's our current Empress.
And Hamilton. Oh yeah.
And Hamilton is part of it, and she's wonderful. And Miss Drew's going to be performing on Saturday at the Pride Niagara event at Amici's Banquet Hall.
Awesome.
Yay.
Which is exciting. Yay! Where Claudia will actually be hosting it.
Yeah, I will be. That's true. I almost forgot. It was a Saturday.
I know. Time flies. This summer is
Good
gone by.
reminder. Good reminder. And it's our first one back since COVID because Pride Niagara didn't want to do any physical events until we got at least into the phase 3. A lot of places were opening, a lot of places were doing events, but we didn't want to push it because our events are usually a larger scale, and we wanted people to feel comfortable with themselves and comfortable going out again. And so yeah, this is our first event back.
I know.
That'll be so exciting.
It's very exciting. Still no dancing.
Still no
But that's
dancing.
okay.
Still strongly enforced COVID rules and regulations. Everyone will be masked. The capacity of the space is over 350 people. We only do 50 tickets, and they're all sold out. Everyone has their information given already, names, contact information, so we can keep a log. Everyone has to have masks. We're giving out Purell and masks at the door. Everyone's seated. There's no reason to leave your table. There's table service, so they're doing all the precautions that we can, but everyone's really excited. And we have over 10, I think we have 11 people performing.
Wow, that's
Really
amazing.
Yeah, and they're all great people of our community from
fabulous.
across the Niagara region. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
Do you have any questions?
There's some questions and comments on here, so I'll just I'll scroll through.
Cool.
Ezra Rector Bouchard says Macy looks like the cool aunt who's always traveling.
She is.
Yeah,
The booze in her purse.
sounds
Ezra
right.
knows
Yeah.
me. I love Ezra.
CJ Sisler, love the crown and love you all. Is that the Canadian version of y'all? You're beautiful. Ashley Gaskell, knobby knees right here. LOL.
Thank you.
Ashley is so wonderful. She moved to Ottawa, I think it was. Well, I love
Yeah,
We
yeah,
miss
yeah,
her.
she's in Ottawa.
this sweetheart.
Thank you.
CJ Sisler, much love to you. To use. Jessica Sebastian Macy, I want your dress.
This was actually just made for me. Actually, I shouldn't say it was just made. This is the first time I'm wearing it. COVID has put a damper on performing, obviously, because we couldn't do it. So what
With
do you,
people.
With people, yeah.
I've been dancing around our living room.
This is very accurate. But so what do you do while you're sitting at home and you're shopping? So I have been finding some great fabrics and sending it over to my my amazing designer in Toronto, and he creates all of my stuff. I've
Love
spent
it.
far too much that I don't want to tell my partner how much I'm spending.
This dress has already been spoken for, though. Are you not?
It was-
Is this not for Shelley?
Oh, that's definitely already been spoken for.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have a special one made for you.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, heard it here.
I am waiting. Really?
Oh, yeah.
You want a matching one too?
I know I have some extra fabric.
Only the little one. So sweet. Oh, bless your heart.
Ashley Gaskell says, is this the Imperial Court that you were discussing? They're trying to open a chapter up here in Ottawa.
Yes, that's the organization we were talking about. They've been trying to open one in Ottawa for so
Quite some
long.
time.
I don't know why they don't have one.
I'm not sure.
It's such
What's
a
the
great
closest
organization.
one to Ottawa?
The closest one to Ottawa is Niagara.
Toronto?
Well, I guess, yeah.
Toronto?
Toronto is the mother court of Ontario.
Ontario.
Vancouver is the mother court of Canada.
Wow.
There's a lot more chapters in the United States because it's a little bit larger.
Mhm.
But they were trying to open one in Ottawa for the longest time. I don't know why they haven't.
I don't know either.
Actually, if you need help, we can help you. But I can tell you who could.
So send us a little DM.
Yeah,
and
give us a
we'll-
little DM.
But
Connect you on
fun
DM.
fact, Claudia is actually a past Empress and Baroness of St. Catherine's specifically.
Yes.
That's why she has this amazing regalia.
And to
Amazing.
go grocery shopping.
So he's never looked so good.
Yeah. Less silly. But and the produce.
Ezra says, I have a question for Macy and Claudia. How do you guys choose the stories you read? You look amazing. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Well, I've read this story before. And definitely, we want to make sure that all of the stories that we are going to be reading are definitely, empowering and geared towards, well, obviously kids. I have a couple stories that I would love to read, but no. And we can talk about this privately off camera. I have a funny one. I read it during our drink brunch. But it's all about empowerment, I think, and just telling kids, like, it's okay. Be who you are. Sometimes, the kids aren't paying attention to the stories, and it's more so, hey, parents, listen up a little bit here.
Mhm.
The kids, okay, yeah, look at the cool picture. Oh, haha, look at the hair. you know.
And it's all about, like, we'll be here because we're providing the light on an issue. Because obviously it's just costumes and shinies and glitter and
A lot of
it's just
makeup.
fun. So you grab that attention at first. So then, what are you going to do with that light now that you shone the light on something?
Yeah.
So for kids especially, they're going to come out to all the shining sparkies. So we want to make sure that there's a message behind it as well. So we do a lot. I think a lot of the story reading is situational, depending what's going on in the communities that we're involved with at the time or what's going on in the world. I think a lot of the ones that we deal with now are for transgender issues because that's part of our community that is targeted the most and does not get as much support as they should.
So,
Absolutely.
brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do a lot have that base to it. That's probably the most important for our community.
But if Ezra, if you have a good book, recommend it. I'd love to hear it.
Awesome. Kayla Page says Marcia sends her love.
Marsha!
Marsha.
Kayla is her name. Marsha is her alias.
I never, and she's gonna hear the real tea right now.
Elliot.
But I never knew her name, or I couldn't remember her name, so I gave her the name Marsha. And it stuck.
And then she spoke about it and asked me, Marsha, remember Marsha? Oh, I love Marsha. She's so nice. I hope she goes. Like, who is Marsha? Like, I have no idea who this Marsha girl is. She, yes, you do. You always talk so highly of her. No idea who she was. And I'm like, girl, her name's not Marsha.
It is
But now she goes by Marsha.
She knows when I say Marsha, it's going to her.
Right.
She's fabulous.
Oh, Marsha.
Ashley says home renos. I assume that means something to you. Had a petition circulating at Tea's Pub. That's also from Ashley.
Tatiana, the owner of that club in Ottawa, her drag name is Tatiana Romanoff, and she is a past Empress from the Hamilton Wentworth area. So she could, yeah. The one great thing about, we talked about it earlier about the sisterhood of being either a drag king or drag queen or a drag performer.
Yeah.
Historically, it was drag kings and drag queens. And now, just to add on that, some people would think a drag performer or a drag queen or a drag king or whatever is one particular gender. It has never been that. And it is, for our community, it has never ever been that. So that's never been the tea. It was how it got sold to heteronormative, that it was a man dressing as a woman or a woman dressing as a man. But in our community, it was never that. It's always been across the board. So, I don't know where I got my attention, but I mean it's a very important thing, and too often outside of our community, allies would say, "Oh, okay, yeah, what's when a man does that?" Or some of the fun movies that we both love, like Tu Wong Fu, for example. It's a great movie. It's super cute, but when they have the moments to give what people are taking away as a lesson about what makes a drag queen, that's not accurate. That's not exactly right. So people are taking those little bits of history, made up history by heteronormative society, and spinning that off. You want to dig it a little bit deeper. Paris is Burning is one of the best documentaries of all time for the ball scene.
Yes.
And that will give you the tea. That is a good, strong movie to look at.
Is that on Netflix or Crave right now?
Crave.
Crave.
Is it on
Oh,
Crave?
thank you, everyone. Who's subscribed. Awesome.
Girl, I think I got it on VHS still.
Betamax.
Yeah, I got it on anything that you could possibly happen. It was willed to me by somebody far older.
But we were talking about sisterhood. And
Yeah, the
brotherhood
sister.
and-
Tatiana, she lives in Ottawa, and the fact that we know her, I can go to Ottawa at any time and contact her and say, "Girl, I'm coming here. Could you hook me up?" Same with, like, there's girls in Kiwani in Hawaii, who I know just through the ball scene, and I can be like, "Girl, I'm gonna come to Hawaii. Can I stay at your place? Can you feed me? Can you hook me up? Can you get me a gig? Can you everything?" It's that cultural link because it's a blessing, but we didn't have an option historically. So we had to pick that chosen family and build that family. So it wasn't ever just men or just women or people that identified as male or identified as female. It was our community fighting to be a community and building a home. So I'm guilty for probably 99% of the time calling absolutely everyone girl or she. It's more slang wise, I think, in drag culture a lot.
Yeah, well, when we talked about and
Historically, it's more slang,
yeah,
but it's not gender based. But now that this culture is at a larger viewing point, because hetero society is now looking into it, we have to take it as a responsibility for ourselves to correct our behavior because people are taking it on. So it may be Kiki for us to sit to each other and talk about something or spill the tea. Other people don't necessarily know that. So we make sure the literature we pick, the books that we do, the events that Pride Niagara holds are always explaining the backside of it. So it's not just the lights, camera, action. It's where that word came from, why people have used it, and why we no longer use it.
That's the key.
Great.
Yeah.
You went on a tangent
Went on
there.
a tangent.
How about with you? My jewelry got stuck in my hair. It's a good tangent. Things need to be said sometimes, you know.
I'm Italian, I should talk.
Question.
I have a question. First of all, I want to tell you girls, yes, you're fantastic.
Thank you.
Now, I'm a little embarrassed to say that although I do binge watch RuPaul's Drag Race and everything, this is kind of new to me coming out, seeing these shows. I want to know, where do I go to see you? I want to know you. I want to be around you.
Yes! we want you to be around us,
And
100%.
there are so many, just Claudia and I think. No, but Niagara has so many amazing performers.
Absolutely. And very dedicated.
And
to the
very
community.
dedicated. And that's the first thing I have to say. If you want to come and see Claudia and myself specifically, on the 23rd of this month at Queen Bean Cafe on Queen Street, we're going to be doing Claudia and myself are the original queens of brunch in the Niagara region.
Awesome.
So it's been going on for a year, minus the few months. COVID
Coffee and
kind of
pancakes.
put a little.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Right, coffee and pancakes.
It all started last year at Macy Cafe in St. Catharines. Then it moved over to, was it Queen Bean first, or was it Vegan Hippie Chick?
Queen Bean.
It was
Vegan
Queen
Hippie
Bean,
Chick.
then the Vegan Hippie Chick in Welland. Amazing venues, but on the 23rd, we'll be at Queen Bean. We know there's two seatings, 10:30, 12:30.
I think the second seating has spaces full, but the first seating is completely sold out. It's on the patio and indoors. All the COVID precautions are being done. All the things that every restaurant is doing now. Wear your mask when you come in. They take your name. They take your number just for a contact log.
Do you remember the email for that?
Sitting at the.
I'm going to check my phone. Pardon me while I do
All the guests have to wear masks upon coming in. Once you're at your table, you can take it off. Your service have them. The same rules that every restaurant is doing now.
Exactly.
But the Drag It to Brunch that started is a Pride Niagara initiative, and everybody, all the performers for Pride Niagara, and all the events that Pride Niagara does. Pride Niagara is a not-for-profit in the Niagara region. We're in our 10th year, so all the events that we do are either all the performers are volunteering their time, so it's free. They're not getting paid. They are hopefully getting tips if guests are tipping, but ultimately they're doing it because they're all part of the community and they want to build the community stronger. So all the events that we do, the money at these events goes back into having bigger events.
Yeah.
So example, like you watch RuPaul Drag Race. Last year we had Latrice Royale.
Do you remember Latrice?
Yes, I do.
It was everything. That was one of my highlights.
Yeah.
I was
We also
living
had
my life.
Alyssa Edwards last year.
At Pride in the Park.
And should we say we were supposed to have at our kickoff party at the Performing Arts Center, Alaska.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
that one's on pause because we are really hoping to do an event that kickoff party, even though postponed at some point later on this year. Once things lift a little bit more, so we can really have the community.
But those events to pay for those events are all the little events we have throughout the year. Just as an example, one of those drag performers. Hi, Dad. That definitely was not my fault. Definitely not. One of the performers that we would have, the Pride Niagara would book, for example, their cost would have been about $10,000.
It's expensive.
It's a free event to attend, Pride in the Park. That one performer, and we have dozens of performers, drag performers, bands, musicians, spoken word, hi Bello, so many different performers, and everybody's different price rate. But I mean, that one performer is $10,000. So all our events, like the Drag It to Brunches, the money the proceeds are going to benefit these bigger events. So the highest ticketed event I think Pride Niagara does is the Unity Awards, which is $50. And that's a full sit-down dinner, free wine tasting by Hernders Estate Wines, 2 bottles of wine at your table, and it's a glorious event, right?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and it celebrates all the achievements of our LGBTQ community in the Niagara region.
The host was very handsome too.
I
Yes.
have another question.
Yeah.
The email is queenbeanbrunch@gmail.com.
Okay.
But you can see Macy or
It's on
I
Queen
or
Street, right?
And it's on the.
yes.
I posted on the Facebook page. As
Oh, did you? Oh,
well.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna do that. You
Yeah.
beat me to it.
I do have another question.
You
Yes.
can see Macy
So-
or myself, I'm sorry, or any of the Pride Niagara performers at any Pride Niagara event. Everything's on Pride Niagara's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Okay.
And they're all people that are donating their time to build the community.
Okay, so again, how I mentioned, I'm new to actually going to drag shows. Please tell me, what is drag show etiquette? Like, I noticed the one I went to the other day, they were like putting money in their, in their belt strips, and like, I want a tiff.
Right.
But do I go to the each individual lady? Do I just, I don't want to
No,
stick
of
in your
course, yeah.
pants and offend, or
I know I have a lot to say about this.
I'll just say one
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
COVID now is a
Give me
little
that
bit
now.
different,
Give me
right?
that now.
COVID now is different. So at our events that we're at Pride Niagara will be doing, they're going to provide. Yeah, you are so beautiful. We're going to be providing envelopes at the show on Saturday. So we'll have envelopes on every guest's table. So if they want to tip one of the performers, they can put it in there, write the name, seal it, and then we'll have it, disinfect it, yada yada, and give it
And
to
give
guests.
it that.
Just because it's COVID, but
Right.
normally tipping is always appreciated and encouraged. If it's a Pride Niagara event, we specifically always announce. Our funds are always go back to Pride Niagara.
Right.
If people are donating their tips back to the cause, we'll announce that. But normally,
These are really heavy earrings.
but
I know.
normally,
And money doesn't help.
the money goes back to pay for the performance expenses. But you can take that.
Yeah. Whenever you go to a drag show or a drag brunch, etiquette is drag queen etiquette. Consent is sexy.
Yeah, definitely consent.
We've definitely gone to events before where people will touch our hair or randomly feel our butts. Luckily for me, I can't feel mine because it's a huge couch back there. But people will just start touching and grabbing.
I'm pasta, so I can feel it.
So like the first thing is, if you want to get a photo, well, right now with COVID, it's a little bit tricky because of the distancing. Ask these things. If you want to, I had a booking a couple of weeks ago, and a lady asked, I was trying to figure out if your bum was real. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, do you mind if I ask you what it is? And I told her, and she goes, wow. And she was like, okay, I'm cool. I kind of described it's like a couch. I call this.
It's a comfort plus.
I call this part Big Booty Judy because I love it. It's fabulous. So if you are tipping, it all depends on the performer and if you know the person. I know for myself, I won't put money in my mouth. Some people will. If you have money, I will take it in my hand.
Yeah.
It's never hot when somebody has like the bill or whatever they're tipping you with, and they do this, and you go to reach it, and then they pull it back over and over and over again. Like,
The key is don't degrade, because if you're giving someone a tip across the board, wherever it may or may not be, you don't want to degrade that person by giving them a tip. It's supposed to be an appreciation.
That's what I kind of felt like was
Exactly.
happening at the one that I
Yeah.
went to.
and
Yeah,
never get
that's
up on
unfortunate
stage when a
then,
drag
so-
queen is performing because it could be dangerous, not just for yourself but for the performer. Because we are, for a lot of the queens, we're wearing some good pumps.
Yeah.
And if we don't want to take you out along with taking us out.
But we will.
But
If it comes to it.
and costuming is expensive.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter, drag queen, drag king, drag performer. It takes a lot to get things together, and it's not just I'm gonna go to the store and pick this up.
Yeah.
It's getting some fabric, having someone make it, getting your hair done, your makeup, your jewelry, all these things. It adds up. So
So I think etiquette is definitely appreciated.
Yeah.
I would just, with respect, just like anything else, like
And
don't
calling
make
us
it bait as
beautiful.
if you have to
Yeah.
force it, as if you want them to keep dancing for something like a rabbit with a carrot on a stick. It's a basic etiquette,
Yeah.
I think, but nobody would get offended if they ever wanted not to get tipped. They would announce it in the beginning of the number, like please no tipping during this.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to tip.
but just ask questions. Like, we're very open people. If you have a question, ask it, as long as it's not
The intent, like
It's not exactly.
if you can tell by the intent if you're asking because you want to be educated and you just don't know, or if you're asking because you want to make that person feel awkward and uncomfortable in their surroundings and in their skin.
But always tell us we're beautiful. Always.
So beautiful.
Oh.
There's a couple comments. I mean, I'm like way behind in the
I'm
comments.
sorry,
So,
we get off on our
so
tangents.
no,
Thank
I
you,
love your
Justin.
tangents. They're fabulous. Shayna says, "Miss seeing you, Macy. You look fabulous as usual."
Shayna.
Jason Spank wants to know, Macy, where are your opera glasses?
Oh, they're at home. Santiago made me move them out of the bedroom. I had them on my night table, and I. No, not for. They were still in the box from Amazon. But my partner said, "Why is your drag slowly making its way around the house?"
Right.
So then I moved it into the guest bedroom in the closet with some of the other stuff.
Sure.
But they're silver. They're really pretty.
Martin Robbins says, Marty says, this is great. My kids love it.
Hey, good.
Brenda's Beaver from Anne Labrador.
Okay, remember when I was telling you about books that I like to read?
Yeah.
One of the books is called Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber. I will not go into any more detail, but I will tell you I will be reading one of the books in that box set at our drag brunch on the 23rd.
Oh, awesome.
Very
Well, we gotta
narrow-minded,
go.
whoever this person is talking about Brenda's Beaver that way. You're not in charge of
But
Brenda's
I
Beaver.
love that book because one of Claudia's and my best friends, Brenda, she passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
So anytime that I read the book, I think about her just because of the name, not because of the rest of it. But yeah.
And we would have probably made fun of her, like
Yeah.
taunted and picked at her out of love.
And we could hear her
Yeah.
saying, Macy, Manolo, Claudia, Silva.
Talk about my beaver.
We love Brenda. She's watching us. She's totally here somewhere.
Ashley just brings up a point and says, then there's faux queens, biological females doing drag.
Right on that, here's the tease.
Just about to ask that.
Oh.
See, so I think a lot of people don't, and again, it's intent, the intent behind it. A lot of people think they're saying the right thing, or they're like trailblazing, or like doing something that's so above and beyond, not knowing that what's happened in the past, the history behind it, and well, you know, before you start to read something, you better have written a book or two in your life. You know, you have to write down a sentence before you start reading somebody. So when people say now,
Bio
king, queen, it's
faux.
it's offensive because now you're saying biological. So now you're saying there are men that do this, women that do this, and biological people that do it, and then all of a sudden you're pushing our trans brothers and sisters aside. And actually, you're not just pushing them aside, you're saying that they're not men and women now, because they're not bio. And the king and queen part of it is just a historical part of our culture to, you know, keep us up and raise our heads and remember that we are royalty and to conduct ourselves that way and love ourselves. That's all it is.
So never use the term bio king, bio queen.
Yeah, it's offensive.
Okay.
It's offensive. And most things that are offensive, if you just stop and think, are you the only person that thinks this sounds right?
Right.
Then maybe you should just tell yourself.
Yeah.
So is there an actual, like, is that going on? Like, are there?
A lot of people say it's still, and I don't
Because I
grasp
want
it.
to do.
It's still happening, unfortunately.
No.
And some people don't see because it's not coming from a bad place. It's like ignorance, I guess you could say.
Yeah. You have to choose to educate.
Yeah, choose to educate yourself, and that's so important. And you know, these are things. Working with Pride Niagara, learning and understanding. There's not just a cisgender male and a
Right.
cisgender female. Like, this is fabulous happening with everyone. There are so many different types of people, and that's what makes our community absolutely fabulous. And I hate personally, I hate the term bio king, bio queen. That's just me.
So is it offensive if a woman does drag, or is it
No!
offensive if she says she's a bio?
No, you are a queen, babe.
Right.
Well,
If
I
she's-
know that.
Yeah. Yeah, but no need for the bio. If
It's
you
drag-
are
you're a drag
saying
performer, you're a drag queen.
Yeah.
Drag performer, drag artist.
Together, can
drag-
we not just hold the rein? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we are a community.
Right.
You know, if you're a drag queen, you're a drag queen. If you're a drag king,
Right.
you're a drag king. If you're a drag performer, you're a drag performer, and be that.
Right.
But let's get rid of the bios
Right.
because we do not want to be transphobic to our brothers and
No.
sisters.
Because then you're pushing people aside. Like Pride Niagara, all the events are Pride, and Pride is for everyone. It's LGBTQ plus and whomever. Everyone has a sense of pride, and all the celebrations, all the events are Pride. They're not people that think they're unicorns, or
Yeah.
people,
I love unicorns.
or gay men, or people that identify as this or that. It's pride. So if you have a sense of pride and you want to celebrate that with people that are equal-minded, come to the events. That's it. We don't have any events that are specific for anything other than self-love.
Yeah. Fun fact, and this is useless knowledge or useless trivia for you. Does anyone know what a group of unicorns is called? It's called
Missing.
a blessing. A blessing of unicorns.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I used to work on cruise ships, and I loved hosting trivia, and that was one of the useless questions I would ask all the time.
Well, it's not useless. Now we all know.
There you go.
Now we all know.
On that next cruise.
Yeah. All right, more questions?
We addressed this one. How will we be able to tip performers this weekend while maintaining social distancing? So there's the envelope.
Yeah.
Pride in the Park is amazing. Was there the year you had Trevor Boris hosting? That's
Oh
from
my
Ashley.
God.
Kicking it back, girl.
Yes. Was
that was an
Shangela
OG
there as well
event.
that year? Or is it, no.
The next year we had
Next year was
Shangela.
Shangela. I love
I did
Shangela.
not hear that. Say that again. Allison's sorry.
Trevor
Take me
Boris.
anywhere.
One of the Pride in the Park events, we had Trevor Boris from Much Music.
Yeah.
He was one of the hosts. But I mean, that was like in the day.
That was one of the firsts.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
Ashley says tip your queens.
Yes, ma'am.
Gotta pay the rent, girl.
A queen up here calls her butt IKEA butt. LOL.
And I
You gotta put that together yourself. No, thank you.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna pay for it, it better be ready. Like I
Putting
don't
my
want it
hips on
done.
includes like one of those Allen keys. I don't want to do it.
And the instructions aren't in
And the
English.
instructions.
And then you do it backwards. And
Yeah.
Mikaline Ilash. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't.
Your name made me hungry. I don't know
This
why.
this is so fantastic and informative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ezra is wondering, will we be allowed social distancing pictures with the performers this weekend? And
That-
I think that's the last question I can see.
That is definitely up to the performers if they want to be doing that. And that'll probably be. Actually, you know what? I don't think so. I don't think there'll be an opportunity because everything is so set up to ensure that there's physical spacing because we don't want to say social distancing because
Yes,
we don't
right.
want to do that. Like
Right.
you're not supposed to be separating ourselves. We're supposed to be giving physical space.
Right.
Yeah.
So everything's going to be set up so well for the physical spacing. I don't think there will be pictures.
Okay.
When they're
Unless you do like
performing,
selfie
sure.
mode like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're performing,
That
absolutely.
might
And they're
work.
like way back there. Does it work? But safety first, and that's so important.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Does anybody else back here have questions?
Any questions?
Co-vetting.
What size your shoes? I love them.
Giant. So these are women's size 13.
Are they 13?
Yeah. I mix between a 12 and a 13. All
Then they're
depends on the
tight
brand.
13 because I can't get in.
But these shoes were originally just basic red, like a flat red. And then my amazing partner and myself took 10 hours rhinestoning.
Wow.
Stone by stone by stone. Loop, stone. Loop, stone. Loop, stone. And then some of our friends told us, oh, you should use this instead.
Is that what those binocular things are for?
No, the binoculars are just because I feel like they should be worn while reading people. I don't know. But there's like a little pen to do rhinestoning with. It like sticks pen on, sticks pen on.
They're beautiful though.
Yeah,
They're
they
a tight.
really
they're
are.
a tight 13. There's no way they're 13.
Okay, and then maybe my pleasers are 13, and maybe these ones are a size 12. I don't know, but I've had these shoes forever. But once again, we talk about like we have so much stuff in our wardrobe, and we need to repurpose it. So I was gonna throw these babies out, but then Santiago and Claudia are like, why don't you just stone them, bring new life to it?
Yeah.
That's good.
There she is.
And there they are. The house hasn't had to fall on me yet.
Don't worry, we have Purell. It'll be safe. Everyone put a mask on. We'll be okay.
Here we go. Yeah. Any other questions by chance? What size are your feet? Yours are 13.
I'm like a 13 wide, 14, depending on the heel.
Do
I'm
you
a
ha-
blacksmith.
Do you have to buy special order most of your shoes, or is there?
Now that Payless is
Now that
gone.
Payless,
I
Payless
know.
Payless is gone. Bless them.
Should we tell stories in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
So we go to Rhode Island all the time. So last year,
Well, because Payless has larger sizes.
Right.
Well, they did. And in Canada, they only went up to like a 12-ish.
sometimes
But
they have
sometimes you
13.
could get a 13. But in the States, you go to a 13 wide. Which I'm all about the girth for shoes. So,
We were in Rhode Island, and then we went to the one mall, and there was a Payless, and we walked in, and we're like, oh, okay. So we bought 1 or 2 pairs of shoes, and then the girl's like, okay, yeah, that's all we have, but there's a store XYZ down the road,
Right.
blah 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 blah. Okay, so she gave us the list, or you took a
the
picture.
second store, when we became tight with them.
Yes, they
Is-
called each other.
Yeah, because the second store, when we got there, we said, if anything you have in a 12 up, whatever you have that is a heel, bring it out and we'll buy them.
Yeah.
Because the clearance price was like somewhere like $4.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Legit.
like girl,
Legit.
I'm taking all these
Welcome
shoes.
to
I'm
America.
taking all these shoes. All of the shoes. So then they were like, oh, okay, great, blah, blah. So then that person said, oh, you should go the ones that are closing, in the order of their closing, that's the prices. Because I said the other store, like, they were like $10. I'm complaining that it was $10. I'm like, those were $10. I'm spending that. But she's like, well, it depends when that store is closing. If they're closing earlier, the price will be less. So they had a list of all the stores, their phone numbers and addresses. That at first she said, I am not allowed to let you see this. But then we took a picture and she told us. She started calling all of them. We went to every store that we could in Rhode Island. I think it was like 6.
5, 6, yeah, in Providence and around Rhode
We
Island.
were driving on GPS to find the store, and another person's calling like, "Hi, do you have any heels in a size this? Take them all out. We'll buy them as soon as we get there. Put them all aside. Do you want a credit card number? Because I think we came home with
Over 30 pairs
Yeah.
of shoes between
Wow.
the
That's
it was
amazing.
worth it.
Love
Totally worth it.
My kind
And I
of
haven't worn
pictures.
any since.
I love them though, and I
They
bought-
are comfortable. Finding like a shoe that's a wide, oh, it's like heaven.
Yeah.
They're lovely.
or a necessity.
Oh, for-
It could just be life. Like if this is my life. But a lot of them are special orders online now. But you can get anything online.
Yeah. Shoefreaks.ca. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's a Canadian website, which is cool, and free shipping. And it's in Canadian funds. I buy so many shoes and boots and everything, and they go up to like a
Love shoes.
16.
Wow.
So a lot of people, I don't know if you're
I'm
watching,
not even.
Amazing.
who would do the walk a mile in her shoes, the event for
Right.
Jillian's place. Jillian's place would have shoes available for the guys normally if they didn't have one. But I would just tell them to go on shoefreaks.ca to find an easy shoe or a fabulous shoe to wear for the event.
Amazing.
Jillian's Place is another amazing organization in Niagara that Pride Niagara does a lot of work with.
Love.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
And positive living too.
Positive Living is amazing. Yeah. They're both-
Volunteer there.
Hmm?
I volunteer there
Where?
at Positive Living.
No way!
I've done it for about 3 or 4 years now,
Got
and
it.
I just love it.
So you know Wendy and the whole gang.
Wendy just sent out an email to say, hey, how is everybody? But I was there all the time. I love it.
Oh yeah, were you downstairs and like in the boardrooms or just visiting everyone?
Oh my God, I was everywhere. I've done like all the different events. I'm always at Pride in the Park.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And like you didn't miss a Unity Award, have you?
I've been at the Unity Awards several times.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. You haven't missed one yet,
I
have you?
missed the last one. I was because I remember. I think it was Enzo was asking where I was because I
Maybe.
wasn't there. So, but it's amazing.
You live, you learn. Yeah.
Such a blast.
Yeah, they're
Amazing.
good. We try hard.
Oh, fabulous. Well then we'll definitely see you at Positive Living or at one of the events coming up soon.
This event this
Well,
weekend is Pride Niagara and Positive
And
Living
Positive
together. So the event is brought to everyone by both.
Yeah.
Positive Living is great. Every monthly event that we have, it's usually partnered with Positive Living. It's a great opportunity for us to work together and give each other that platform.
Exactly. Get the word out. Harm reduction is the key. And 110%. You know, people are going to do what they want to do, but if we can give safer options, I think that's the best thing. And you know, Positive Living has been 30 years. It started off as AIDS Niagara, I believe, and now it's Positive Living Niagara. And just the amount of work that they do for those affected by HIV, whether it be the individual, the family, whoever the case may be, or even just getting the word out and educating. Positive Living is partnering with the Niagara Falls Community Health Center here in Niagara Falls to offer a PrEP clinic, which is pre-exposure prophylaxis. So
Say
that's
that
really
3 times fast.
right?
Yeah.
That's a really exciting program that they're partnering with Niagara Falls CHC. So it's great that they're bringing such wonderful things to Niagara.
That's
Me, I'm just
amazing.
living my Rapunzel COVID life. On the tower.
Roll your hair
Just
down.
waiting. It's all grown. No man speak of. Aren't you COVID?
Linda says hi from Halifax. Thanks for everything. Good to see you. Hugs.
Hey,
I
Linda.
went to Halifax.
Halifax has an amazing court as well.
They
part of the court
do.
system. They're a lot of fun.
I love Halifax.
They're fun.
I believe when I
Girl,
was there
get some
years ago.
snow though in Halifax. Yikes.
Yeah. At their McDonald's, well, back when I was there, they had a McLobster roll. So it was a
Wow.
lobster roll, but they sold that at McDonald's, so it was a McLobster roll. I think it's kind of cool.
I have another question.
Yeah.
In a regular year, you travel a lot. Like how much do you travel in a regular year, not in a COVID year?
We used to travel a lot more. I used to travel a lot.
Yeah, you did. I think responsibilities have changed over the years. I know when I would come home from cruise ships, when I used to work on ships, I'd be like, "Girl, you free? Yeah, okay, woo, road trip," and we're going somewhere. But now things are a little bit dealing with having Pride Niagara. That's such a huge undertaking, and people sometimes only see the event a month or each month or the brunches, or they see Pride Week, but it takes an entire year of hustling to make those events happen. So
Pride
it's a
Week
big thing.
itself cost at minimal $50,000 to do the week, and it's all to pay for that. And the bulk of that funding comes from allies and comes from sponsors and the work and applying for grants and applying for any money that we could possibly get and raising awareness throughout the entire year. So we're fundraising continuously for these events to be free. Like Pride in the Park last year, just under 4,000 people. It's free to go to. One of the performers is $10,000.
Yeah.
Right.
It's free to go to. Normally, to see them without the meet and greet, which we do, which is also free, is anywhere over $100 to $150.
It can be, yeah. depending on
That's
the-
amazing.
It's pretty
But
crazy.
I think most of our traveling now is more across Ontario, but we still do go to Hamilton, London, Toronto, Kitchener. We definitely go to Buffalo and Rhode Island. So
Yeah.
there's still a
New
lot of
York will
traveling.
probably be happening next year
Yeah, New
because
York's
of Tree
fantastic.
and Ship.
They have one of the best ball scenes, clearly,
It
because that is
is.
where it was born. But it's amazing.
Like we went together for the first time a couple years ago, and we stayed at the Marriott Marquis, right in Times Square. So this massive, amazing hotel, and
That's where the ball was.
that's where the ball was.
That's
yeah.
why we stayed.
Hundreds and hundreds of drag performers. It like Claudia, the one crown that Claudia has, I swear it's the size of this house. It's massive, but
I love sparkly things,
it's
so back to
wild.
stockpile.
The jewelry that you see and the connections that you make, and I think that's maybe one of my favorite experiences because it was so grandiose and over the top. But Rhode Island is,
Rhode Island's our home base.
yeah,
Love it.
Rhode Island
Like
is our
heart
home
of
base.
There's so much fun.
We love it.
But we travel as much as possible. And again, it's all the events, the money that anybody's spending there is going back into the community. So we go to their ball because they're going to come to ours. So you dress to win best whatever walk, like best in theme or best or best presenting,
dress, yeah.
best dress, whatever. Because the more support they have, the more money they raise, and then they will in turn come and support yours. But it's so much fun. It's so much
Traveling is fun.
Yeah.
But when you have to drive, when you're all like, we're just doing somewhere local, and we get ready at the house, and then we drive there, and we're all in, and like sucked in and corseted. It's not the most comfortable thing. So it's nice when we get a hotel
I
somewhere.
have no idea what you're talking about. I don't wear any of those things you're doing.
I definitely have to cinch and corset myself.
There's a baby coming in.
I want to pick you up so much.
How's the Auntie Claudia and Auntie Macy
Oh, your
Manolo?
face is so cute, your little cheeks. Yeah.
Any other questions by chance?
I do have another
I like
question. Do you have a favorite makeup line?
Ooh.
The first thing
do
that
you-
popped in my head was Matt Fancy. But he's just a friend of ours who is a phenomenal makeup artist.
I think one of the best makeup artists. in Toronto.
So whenever I hear makeup, I think of him. His drag persona is Helena Poison. He's based in Toronto, originally from Niagara. But favorite makeup?
We are very eclectic with our makeup
Yeah.
because I know for like some of my base powders and white powders and transparent powders, Ben Nye.
Ben Nye is normal.
Ben Nye is a big one for us because it's very theater makeup. I love going to Sephora and wearing a Smashbox stain. This lipstick is the best that I've ever worn. MAC has a couple of ones too.
I like some makeup. Honestly, you don't have to spend a lot of money on the makeup thing. It's up. Some have a higher pigment, so they're better. But I mean, it's all about the application. But really, I would definitely focus on skincare opposed to makeup. Opposed to cover up, I like to work the base out, make sure that's nice and pretty. And then anything you put on it, it's just you're accentuating it. So
And lashes are key.
yeah.
Always invest in good lashes.
I'm not wearing any today.
You guys do your own
These are just mine.
You do your own makeup?
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Now, well, I've noticed that there's like there's drag queens and there's drag queens. By that I mean that the ladies that are done up and they've got the divine look, like
Right.
with the heavy makeup and everything else. Is it the difference in the show or just a personal preference?
Pretty
It's
good
a preference, yeah.
The aesthetic is totally up to the character that we create. And that's the cool thing about drag. And it doesn't matter where you are, whether it be a drag king, drag queen, drag performer, you create this identity. But if you're going big in the makeup, you better go big with the personality.
Right. Yeah.
Some of our friends, they don't go as crazy as makeup as I do. But sometimes it's like, you need to be a model right now. I get so jealous on how...
Because it's a personal expression,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
it's whatever you want to put out there and whatever you brings you joy and however you see yourself as that level up. So to each his own, really. Some people, too often now with Drag Race, which I do, like I'm not a fan because I love drag and I love what it does for people. But at the same time, now that it's been very mainstreamed and a heteronorm, a lot of people and even community members as well are kind of missing the origin of it or the point of it. It's not just to be the best of this or have the best that or the smoothest makeup for this or the smoothest hair or why they only have one wig or why they're doing that. It's an expression. It's about playing with society's gender roles and exploding them and displaying them how you want to and how you're feeling. And it's about expression. So really, for someone, a 16-year-old, to watch this show and then tell someone that's been doing it for over 20 years that they have to level up or they're not doing this properly and they're just really quoting slang that they heard on a pop culture television show and they have no idea the origin of the words they're even using.
Check yourself.
Right, like spill the tea or anything that yes queen, the people that are saying these things. It didn't just happen now. That word is part of the culture that gave you the right to throw shade on these people now.
What do you prefer?
Yeah,
For the
I think
big or
it's
the
just playful.
muted?
I like anything because like I realize like I look at when I was younger, the first time I think I was really exposed was seeing Divine. Now
Amazing.
Divine was just she was
Mother.
great. She was just like she was everything.
Yes.
And then I think that a lot of people have just said, okay, we're gonna go with that, but you gotta go big or home when you're looking like Divine.
Definitely.
Divine
No two
is
ways about it.
iconic, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But no matter, it's absolutely beautiful. I love to see the makeup and everything else. I'm like, I wish I could put it on like that.
It's just
Because-
trial and error, and that's the cool thing. Just you learn and you grow, and we look at ourselves from pictures from 10 years ago when we were 13, and we would see like, oh gosh, look at my face, look at what I was doing, look at what I was wearing. But back then,
You were living the fantasy.
living the
Like, that was like,
fantasy.
this is everything. No
Exactly.
one can tell me nothing today.
Exactly.
This is on.
We just need to keep growing, and drag just keeps expanding and legit blowing up.
And it's okay to know that, like, 10 years ago, that is who you were.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. I don't think it's necessarily healthy to, not even just the aesthetic, anything to be like, this is me for the rest of my life.
We
Like,
need to acknowledge what was
like girl, yeah, you're going to say at 20 years old that you're set and you're not going to change or mix anything up or you know everything already, you don't want to learn anything extra. It's so limiting. Why would you, just mix it up. Whatever's fun, whatever's fruitful. Fruitful. I like the word fruitful.
We've got hi from Dougie B.
Deborah! We love
Deborah.
that. Dougie's one of our best friends.
Yes. Dougie is a part of Pride Niagara, is on the board as well. And Dougie's alter ego is Harrietta, and he does the storybook reading all the time. So he's absolutely gorgeous.
We love
He
Dougie.
is a full
Awesome.
Glamazon, Stepford wife, bearded
Beard.
queen.
Oh, love it.
Fabulous.
You're a total
Fabulous.
Stepford
Great.
silhouette, very like bougie etiquette housewife, coiffed hair,
Yep.
beautiful jewels, and then big thick beard.
Amazing.
And full hairy legs, hairy everything, but absolutely his own aesthetic. So perfect example.
It's brilliant.
That's
and the
amazing.
Kids, when we did our Frank story time for the first time, and Harrietta was with us, the kids
All about her.
didn't care much about the sparkle and the red hair. Like, we like you.
And it wasn't like, oh, why do you have a beard or why that? It was just like kids, I think, can just sense if you're confident, if you're happy and you're healthy and you're feeling in your skin, they just go to it. And that's definitely WB.
Janet Birdsall says, "Hi, ladies, gorgeousness."
Thank you. Hi, Janet.
Ezra would like to know if you can drop the skincare routine.
Oh.
The skincare routine.
Skincare routine. Is it top secret?
You take it. You take better. Take it.
Stay out of the sun, girl. You like.
Yeah.
Sunscreen for your face. And if you're in the sun, make sure you put the vitamins back in. I do a lot of vitamin C things. Don't spend a lot of money on face wash because it's only on your face for a couple seconds. It's the treatments that you're doing afterwards. Tons of water. Really.
Water.
Yeah.
If you're in the sun, make sure you put things good in afterwards. Like if you indulge in a couple of adult beverages, make sure the next day you're putting good things back in. You gotta balance things out. That's all.
One thing that I definitely live by is when I'm taking my makeup off, I use coconut oil.
Yeah.
Best thing in life. Before, when I would just use soap and water, my skin became very raw. The sky is falling. See, I told you this.
Chicken Little, you okay?
The sky is falling. Oh, it's my favorite episode of Golden Girls. But coconut oil. It just makes my skin feel so nice. It does so many things. But organic coconut oil is what I use to take off my makeup, and then I just make my face feel amazing, and then I moisturize.
I don't wear
like
makeup, so
crazy.
Sophia Loren.
Sophia Loren.
I thought my mother. Well, I'm one of 9 children, so growing up, obviously my mother's gorgeous, and I love my mom, and everybody should. She's wonderful. Love their moms as well. But I would always tell my mom that she was beautiful. I was like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. And now, retrospect is sarcasm, but then she would be like, yeah, I'm Sophia Loren, because my parents were from Italy. So Sophia Loren was, and is, like the epitome of glamour and gorgeous. So my mother would always say that. So I didn't know who she was. So I just thought, okay, my mom is Sophia Loren. So as a kid, when people asked me, like, what's your parents' name? I'd be like, well, I don't know my dad's name really, but my mother is Sophia Loren. So I idolized everything about my mom, and like she's had a lot of jewelry and was always that person. So that's why that's my aesthetic, because I think of my mom, who is this tall and a ginger.
Aww.
But yeah, that's Sophia Loren. Yeah.
Do you ladies get your hair custom made?
Yes. Actually, she just ordered some
I'm
on the
just
way
picking
here.
up new hair. Surprise! I'm buying new hair.
Woo! I'm
So,
sorry.
we have a few. I'm not good with hair,
I didn't-
so we have a few people who do our hair. I send mine away to Toronto.
Yeah.
So next week I'm going up to the city to pick up new hair, dropping off old hair to have it reset, redone. But it all depends. Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of local places too, like a lot of local people here, like Mark at the Bell Tower in Fort Erie, who's also a drag queen, who's also a past Empress in Toronto. He's great at doing hair. He's great at doing synthetic. He's great at doing real hair. He's fantastic. But sometimes it's just, we go to Toronto because a lot of our friends are there, and it's just easier.
It's a one-stop shop, so we can see all these people. I can bring fabric to get dresses made. I can drop off hair and pick up new hair. I can go to that one little place that sells the watermelon that has the frozen yogurt on the inside of it.
I'm good at revitalizing a wig, but styling them, I don't have the interest. So when it comes to the style part, I'm like, oh. But if it's like a busted, thirsty piece, I can bring it back to life, but then you've got to fix it. Like, I can make it silky again, but after that, I'm like, oh.
And you just keep them on the styrofoam heads?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I know.
Act like you don't
Like,
know.
we have them
I-
all
I'm
around.
thinking about how I need
Like,
to
you own a
rearrange.
whole bunch of styrofoam heads.
The nice thing is for Claudia and I, our hair, like,
This is
I
tips.
always wear red. Claudia always wears black hair. So that is, we always know, like, which one's your hair?
Yeah.
Right.
If it's a set style, then it's on the mannequinette, sit there nice and lovely.
Do not touch it until it's
Yeah.
on, off.
If it's just a piece or an add to, then I'm a little bit more like throw it
Can
up.
we
Some-
tell them where we keep the bump in your hair? Okay, do you know how you can buy the roasted chickens at like Costco or the superstore or whatever, and they come in that little spaceship
And they're
looking thing?
amazing. Yeah.
Oh, they are delicious.
Yeah.
So the bump that's in Claudia's
right in.
crown right here, she keeps it inside of one of the space chicken things.
Nice.
Reuse, reduce, recycle, girl.
And, like,
And it makes me think, oh, this was good. This is good.
but it keeps it safe for traveling.
Yeah, it's
And
perfect.
we have like a wig
Genius.
carrying case, like
Yeah.
a heavy duty thing. So when we
That's
go across the border
Mhm.
or whatever, our wigs don't get all messed up.
That's awesome.
And olive oil spray. And any olive oil spray
Oh, yeah.
to
Mm.
smooth out your hair is good. If you're doing smooth and
Just
to
a
take
little
out
bit
that,
of
if it's looking a little crunchy, just a little mist of it is always
Have you got any shows coming up in the next couple months up at the Bell Tower?
We're not too sure what Mark and Noel have planned just yet.
They just had a
Um,
show.
They
so
did
I
it
don't-
outside though.
yeah.
I know they're doing something coming up, but I don't think there's a show involved.
I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
They're great though. Their social media
They're so much
is,
fun.
they
Oh, yeah.
always post everything.
That
So
building is absolutely fantastic.
it's
Right?
gorgeous.
Wonderful. Yeah.
It's
They
gorgeous.
took it
job.
from what they've made something so phenomenal in Fort Erie that was needed.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I can't believe. I couldn't
Oh, it's
believe
a
what
squirrel.
they're doing.
I'm not a big fan of squirrels.
And I get distracted by squirrels.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're such sweethearts. We love Mark and Noel.
Oh my God. Noel's
Wonderful
my
guys.
hero. I told him, I said, you are my absolute hero.
And at Fort Erie, it's such a beautiful pocket of
Yeah.
fun and glamour right there. And that's the thing, like everybody doing what they can when they can to add something to their community. So it's not necessarily about like you have to come here or why don't you do that or why don't you. It's like, girl, if you want to do something where you are, then start making it. And if you're honestly doing it non-selfishly and not through a narcissistic lens, if you're doing it just because you know it's the right thing to do, just do it.
Yeah.
And then it's going to start to develop and start growing, and people will support and come and join you because they know you're doing it for someone else. Like for Pride Niagara example, it's called Pride Niagara. It's specifically Pride Niagara. It's not Macy Manolo with red hair or listen Claudia what she has to say. It's not or anybody's like our Harrietta. It's no one's actual names. It's no one's actual personal things. It's for everyone. So everyone can be a part of it. I find it easier that way. And that's what Mark and Noel have really done in Fort Erie there. The Bell Tower, everyone can naturally go there. You don't have to be told that. You just feel that. And I think that's what makes it a lot more impactful.
And they have great spinach dip.
Yes, they do.
Sorry, son, I love food. I remember I love to eat food. And unfortunately, COVID has not been treating me too well during.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Stop. Like, does she not look amazing?
Tell me more! Tell me more! Tell me I'm pretty!
Amazing.
No.
And I love the retro aesthetics and
Yeah, see?
Gorgeous.
I appreciate that.
Now that's all.
Thank you.
Nothing more.
Done. No, okay, thank you. More questions or?
Does anybody have any other questions here? Anybody online watching have questions? There's tons of comments.
Yeah, I hope-
Please read through
I was gonna
after,
say, yeah,
and they're
we'll-
all so lovely. I wish I could read every single one.
We'll go back and answer them, but we thank you to everyone that's saying something
you.
and that's watching. But if you have a question for Pride Niagara or events Pride Niagara does, or any LGBTQ plus information that you want, if we don't have the answer, we definitely will direct it to an organization that has the answer.
There are
Or
many
that can better suit
organizations
you.
that
There's
can-
definitely tons. But yeah, message Pride Niagara either on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. It's all under Pride Niagara.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. He is adorable.
So cute. Yeah, thank you all. Well, now there's more people, so I think we're up like 48 people now at the.
Yeah.
4,800.
4,800. Oh, I like that. 4,800. But this has been so much fun, and thank you everyone for
Sorry.
for tuning in and watching us talk for. I don't
We
know
do have
how
more,
long
we
it's
do
been.
have more questions though, right? Or are we?
Do we have any more questions on there? Rob?
It's already 7:45. Oh my
No.
gosh.
I know.
This
I
is
don't know.
fabulous. We love
No.
it, and that's the thing. That's the fun thing because, and when we're in a bar setting or when we're
Like
in a
I have no
drag
life.
brunch-
This is the
That's
first
the
time
highlight
I've been
for
out
me.
of my tower as Rapunzel since March. So like
March the 15th was
Yeah.
the last time that we did drag
Yeah.
together. But when we are doing a brunch or when we're at an event, sometimes it's very tricky for people to, try to stop a performer and be like, hey, can we get a photo? Or hey, can we ask you a question? So having this platform right here, and just giving information and people asking those questions that they have. Don't be shy with us because we shouldn't. I don't think a drag queen or a drag king or a drag performer should be shy because we're out here to entertain and it's hard to be shy and do this.
Yeah.
Scott, anything you want to say?
I don't have any questions.
No. Did you watch the rest of Queen of the South?
Yeah.
It's good.
Which Queen of the South?
It's an amazing show on Netflix. 4 seasons are on it.
I watch the same thing over and over on Netflix. It's sad.
But
Well, it was Charmed.
Charmed.
Because I love
Claudia loves Charmed.
I love Buffy.
Did you watch?
I love anything vampire.
Schitt's Creek. Did you watch
Yeah.
all of them like on repeat?
Girl, yeah, I've been watching Schitt's Creek before it was even on the air.
Love Schitt's Creek.
That show is everything to me. I'm in love with Dan Levy. The whole production
Is Dan
aspect
Levy
of it.
watching? He might be.
He might be.
Dan Levy,
I think
Claudia
he is.
Silva. You guys are following each other on the Insta
I feel like
or
they
something.
loosely based a part of his character on my life. I'm telling
So
you,
if
like
you
the
could-
first so many seasons, I'm like, that happened to me, that happened to me. That happened to me.
If you could be any character on Schitt's Creek, who would you be?
That I'm not already ripped off from, not getting any.
Well, no, Claudia.
Oh.
Would you be like a Moira, or would you be an Alexis?
I think it would like Myra because she has more costumes and more playful time. Alexis is my sister's too.
Would I be an Alexis? No.
I like Myra. She has so many outfits are off the hook.
If you were a Golden Girl, which Golden Girl would you be?
Oh.
Ooh, that's one of my
Because we
favorites.
love the Golden Girl. Love the
I
Golden
think
Girl.
I would, regardless of what I may or may not want to say, I'm getting Dorothy. Like I know like, anyone that knows is like typing Dorothy.
We also have 500 more
Yeah.
comments, but not 500 people online.
I'm feeling Dorothy with occasional Sophia.
I'm going with
With
Rose with an occasional Blanche.
Occasional plan.
Occasional, calm yourself down there.
Occasional.
Definitely a Rose. I'm a Rose.
Rose, she's still a survivor, so good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you.
Oh, bless Betty White. She is.
That's who we have to protect during COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Betty White, absolutely.
Betty White.
Gosh, and John Waters, like protecting him as well. And Madonna, I want to make sure she's okay. Even though she's
Cher.
funky right
But Cher's gone through like.
now. Oh,
Everything.
COVID can't touch Cher.
No, she's immune.
Please, yeah, she'll fight that through.
Oh, question.
Shay asks, when are your upcoming shows and where? So maybe they missed earlier.
You can catch it on Pride Niagara's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. But there's one this Saturday that is sold out, the Pride Niagara event. Macy and I have a Pride Niagara brunch, which has limited seating at Queen Bean on the 23rd.
10:30 and 12:30. Email queenbeanbrunch@gmail.com to find out if there's availability.
And next month there'll be a Pride Niagara Drag It to Brunch, which is Macy and I again. It will be
The original brunch laid for the Queens of Brunch. Niagara's Queens of Brunch.
We will be at hopefully Vegan Hippie Check. We'll be back at Queen Bean. We'll be doing one at Amici's as well at Thorold. So we're pretty much all over the place. As the allowances for COVID and spaces come up, and as businesses are, I think it's more so when people are more comfortable going back out to businesses because the rules and regulations are there.
Yeah.
Restaurants can be open. You can have events indoor and outdoor or together. Most places, it's not worth them to open unless they do have an outside because the capacity has to be so much smaller. So it's a learning curve. But yeah, everything's on Facebook.
There is one more question I see. What is your favorite song to perform? From Christy Kenzie.
Christy! Oh my gosh!
Christy is a new performer in Niagara.
Is
and
she the
she's
newest?
Amazing.
Is she the newest drag queen?
She's up there, yeah. No, girl, I got a new daughter now. We got a new household.
Well, when
Hey
Christy
there.
first, we saw her at Moose and Goose.
Yeah.
Was that when she performed at one of the Pride nights? And I didn't know who Christy was. And she came out on stage, and her lip sync was lip sync
fantastic.
assassin. That amazing. And I was like, this performer right here is up and coming. Like, this is going to be a big Niagara person. And she is so phenomenal. I love her.
You're okay, girl. No, I tell her
What's your favorite drag song to do?
I don't know. My favorite one to do? Oh, There's a favorite one that I do. I hear Shannon, Nathan Drake, sing S&M by Rihanna
Oh,
because
yeah, you
I've
do
done
that
that so often. Only because it's really good to know the words. Like anything that's meaty word content, I like. That it's not just what are you saying where you can just blah, blah, blah through it. I actually like to phonetically hear the words, so I think that's easier. Some current stuff's fun, but I like to go like back and playful with it.
I love old school.
I love any Martha Walsh anything,
Cher.
whether she's being whether it's Black Box or CC Music Factory or love her. Hey, Whitney.
Do you remember back in the back, like talking about another 10 years ago when we were 23? I would always perform to Miley Cyrus. There was a song called "See You Again."
Oh,
Last
yeah.
time I freaked out, I just kept looking down.
so
was
dreadful.
Just a stutter, and you asked me what I can't remember
And
what I
you
did
were newer
yesterday,
then, too.
but I know that song from 10 years ago.
And you were new, like you were fresher doing drag then too.
Well, when I first came out doing drag, I would do drag for the opening of a porta potty.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, because that's how you get your street cred, right?
Yes.
You just can't walk into the scene and say, I'm here, I'm fierce, I'm fabulous. No ma'am, check yourself at the door.
Yeah.
You need to go ahead and build that rapport to your, you know your friends are already going to love you. So you need to go ahead and expand that social,
because it's a part of the community.
Exactly.
Right? So you can't just show up and say, I'm the boss here, when all those people have worked so hard to build what's there, to build their sense of family and community. And obviously we want more people to come in all the time, but when you come in, you have to realize that you're coming into something that is someone's family. And it's not just a drag show. It's not just a gay event. It's somebody's family. It's someone's chosen family, which is sometimes even more important. So to show, a lot of people come in and feel that they have to be defensive. And I think that comes from
insecurities
and social media, and it's sold that you have to be mean, you have to be this to be a performer or drag king or queen. You gotta have this sassy attitude, and like really, you don't. You just have to be yourself and encourage it from everybody else.
And there's a line between reading someone to filth, which is fun, or
which is not mean.
It's not mean. No, and
hurting
there's
someone's feeling is not reading, and I think that's where there's a big cross of it. It's an actual like.
You need to be smart and witty to do it properly.
Yeah, you can't know you were just read.
No.
Like your friend needs to tell you that, because you have to be sitting there thanking the person for what they said.
One
you can't
person
know.
who I love dearly, because she reads me a lot, is drag superstar Vanity a la Mode.
Oh, yeah.
She's one of our dearest friends, and I adore
Who's
her.
from Niagara originally as well.
Now live in the Hamilton. But she reads me to filth all the time. She's just good at it, and I appreciate it because it just
the
shows.
pamphlet that you are, girl. The pamphlet that you are.
The pamphlet that I am. I'm a trifold.
I remember when you did that Miley thing all the time.
Do you remember that shirt that I had? Okay, so we could talk for hours. I hope you have a.
And when
in
Macy
there.
came out and started doing drag, I had already been doing drag for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But so she was like, I'm really young and I'm really skinny and this is my dress and it just comes to my cooter and that's it. I don't have to, like I'm thin. This fits me. It's on me. It fits. And a lot of people when they start doing drag, I think a lot of gay men when they start doing drag, and if they're thin, and this is coming from a not thin place, a lot of the gay men are like, this fits. So they can put that dress on, like it fits me. It's like, no, girl, it is on you, much like it was a hanger. But it didn't fit the hanger, and you are the situation. Now, at the time when I met Macy, and she was dancing around in a t-shirt and some lip gloss, I was 400 pounds at the time, and because I weighed much more then. So I was 400 pounds and 4-inch stilettos, so my mood, when I see her running around doing her best Miley, was dead. Was shame to say the least. But we became such best friends.
We really did, and I thank drag for that. That really brought us close, and our ex-boyfriends. But that we didn't talk about.
But I mean, that process of you getting to know everyone there, because I was there for a little while, and you're being fresh, you came in with full of energy and happiness, and that. But it wasn't, you've been doing this forever. Get lost, or you're fat. You should sit over there, or you only own that one wig. I don't want to talk to you, or you don't do the death drop, because now everybody wants someone to do the death drop. Does everyone know what that is?
I
When they-
can't touch my toes.
Everybody wants someone to do that. For $1, you want me to do that.
Fun fact, I can't feel my toes right now.
But I mean, it's that before people would understand. Like we mentioned Rhonda Richards earlier, and I said like she's our queen, like Queen Mom of Niagara. She's been doing drag forever, and like,
She headlined at the Last Supper.
Yeah, she really did. She was serving the wine. That's why she missed the picture. She's like, I'll be right back. The thing that we're doing for Drag Brunch in Niagara Falls or Welland or St. Catharines, wherever, these events aren't new. Like, drag in Niagara has been here for well over 30 years.
Yep.
And to a level that has been very visible. It just, there's a lot of new people and it's bigger, it's more mainstream now. So people think that, oh, I'm doing this and this is fresh because I saw it on television, or this is pop culture now. But there have been people like Rhonda Richards, who I had mentioned. She's been doing this for forever. But in Niagara, I remember meeting her as when I was a young, extremely, I looked like Robert Smith. Does everyone know who Robert Smith is from The Cure?
Mm-hmm.
I was Robert Smith meets Liberace meets 400 pounds. So I met her at, does everyone remember the City House, the biker bar in Niagara? That's where gay people used to go to hang out. There would be a pocket of them. And it was totally not a safe place. It was totally not a positive place. But I mean, for our culture, our community, it's making the best of where we are and coming together. So I met a small pocket of people there that are very strong and built a community together. And then building more and more and encouraging and meeting more people. So when I met Macy, it was just something naturally that I would want to be friends with her, and I would want to encourage her, and I would want to tell her, like, girl, put some clothes on. Honey, what are you doing? Relax. This is fresh. I get it. You think you are everything right now. I want that because I got that. And I feel now a lot of times it isn't there as much because RuPaul Drag Race, and because everything is on TV, and YouTube had to set a wig. And then boom. So they think they're everything just by that YouTube station, but they're missing that culture of building together, growing together.
Yeah.
And that's why Pride Niagara is such a big part of us, because that is what we're about. The community, the culture, and growing together, and giving up space for people to grow. Like Christy.
Did we just do that whole thing just in that one comment from Christy?
She's inspired
I think
us.
so, yeah.
We love Christy Kenzie.
See?
Just to put it back there. Follow her on Instagram, Christy Kenzie.
Will do.
She's
I can
great.
talk forever.
awesome.
She's
I'm
really
so
wonderful.
Italian. I'm so Italian I can go on.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions?
Anyone else? You want to go and bring your food over because we can do a dinner theater next?
Oh, that'd be awesome! Next summer.
Next up,
We'll
deal.
plan for
We
that.
could do a barbecue.
Oh my gosh, barbecue! Oh yeah, go ahead.
Do you find that, like you're saying, that you have to basically work the opening of a porta potty? Do you find that now some of the people are trying to get through by doing TikTok and then getting
Oh,
known?
social media influencers are so. They're important, I think, because it's great to show these things. But remember, TikTok and all these filters on Instagram, you can take these cuts how many times to create this elaborate, false, in some cases, vision of yourself. Where back in the day we didn't have TikTok, was there Facebook back then?
Girl, I had a Bell Motorola flip phone.
Okay, so there might have been Facebook when I started drag, but you had to start and really work your street cred. I know that on Drag Race, what was it? I think it was UK Drag Race. 2 of the people had never performed in drag before, but they had such a big following on Instagram and via social media, and that was how they got on the show. And unfortunately they did not do very well in Drag Race.
But that's definitely a part of society.
Oh, it's very much, and we're old cats. But if it works for them, it works for them. But just make sure that if you're doing what you're doing online, make sure you can bring it in person, because if not, that's where there's a lot of problems.
And just know that it is fun, and I think it's fantastic, but you are missing something that is so beautiful. By
Sisterhood is so important.
by building that
Brotherhood.
community and working together, and the hustle. When she said she would go to the opening of a porta potty, you were happy about that.
Oh, loved it.
Like that was
Loved it.
you wanted to. Like I wanted to do shows with Rhonda Richards. I wanted her to ask me. I wanted her to say, "Could you help do this dress up? Okay, what do you think?" I wanted that because I learned from her. Like, Terry Stevens is
My drag
probably probably one of the best female impersonators in the North America, hands down.
Yeah.
She's amazing. But I mean, I wanted her to tell me that my contour was messed. I wanted her to say, girl, your lashes are like, what do you swim in those? Like, get something severe. Like, I needed that.
Yeah.
And now I feel people feel challenged and hurt by people wanting to do that. But that's part of family. I have to tell you, like my mom says all the time, if I don't tell you, would you rather someone on the street tell you that you don't look good, or you want me to tell you? I love you. They just want to tell you. I tell you because I want you to grow. And that's what I think a lot of the influencers are missing, the connection.
They're just used to the yes, yes, yes.
And the likes.
And by the way, if I look horrible right now, blame Claudia Silva, because as we were getting ready, I'm like, girls, this look okay. Girls, this okay. This okay.
What did I say?
She said, yeah, you're fine.
I said fine. You look gorgeous.
You look gorgeous.
You're so smart.
I love it. I love you.
I love you too.
I have a confession.
Okay.
I remember going to the drag shows down in Toronto when Pride was in Toronto when they had it up at it was called the Masonic Temple.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
girl.
So I remember going to those, and the
that.
last one I went to, believe it or not, at that location, Phyllis Diller was still alive because she did the show there.
No.
That's why I'm like, dial it back. Like,
Next time it tells you my age. But
I think it
still.
was supposed to be an event. Or was there an event last year? I don't know if it happened or not. But there was supposed to be a Northbound Leather event at the Masonic Temple, and I was like, yes.
They used to have some amazing events,
Right?
But they still do.
I got to see Mr. Leather in Amsterdam. Oh my God, he's like about 6'4". I got my picture taken with
Isn't
him.
it fabulous?
My God, he's a doll. Oh yeah, yeah. I actually got to see Pride there, as it was on the canal. Oh my God, it's something you have to see.
Canal Lizard, love them.
Oh yeah, it was just outrageous.
Shade of Black.
Shade of Black. Oh yeah, Shade of Black. She lives in Niagara Falls.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Oh, are we cut off now?
No, you can keep talking if you want. I'll sit back down.
No, you're fine. Whatever. It's your house.
It's your
You
porch.
gotta water the flowers.
We still have a bunch of people watching. If you have anything else you want to add, go for it. Anybody? Questions? Online? Anybody else questions?
Well, once again, if you ask where my hearing's done, it is at. Oh, you're not there anymore. Oh, you left. Well, that's awkward. I gave
Girl,
you a
what
good-
part of this don't you understand? You don't have to check her eyes now, too. This means that's just no more.
Where are you working now?
I'll tell you later,
I'll tell you
girl.
later.
Okay. You want to get your hearing checked? Dr. Allison Scott.
She's doing it on the back of her
Lucky.
car right now. Bring your own mask, bring your own Purell. Cash only.
Are
No
you doing that?
checks.
Yeah, she's cool.
I know. So they're paying the rent,
Allison.
girls. It's all about paying the rent.
Okay, I do have a question. Just going back to women choosing to do drag, I am thinking of having a themed birthday party out of pure inspiration and to pay homage. So, what would be the best advice that I could offer my girlfriends in attending this drag themed birthday party to not offend?
To not offend your friends? Or to not
Or to
offend
not offend the drag community.
the drag community?
Don't make fun of it.
Yes.
That's the key, because I know that, and it's actually happened in Niagara over the last year and change, where there was a bet made and saying, okay, yeah, you do X, Y, Z. If you don't meet these requirements, the result's going to be this person has to dress up in drag as a joke. Therefore, you're being disrespectful to the drag community.
And you're being disrespectful to not only people that do drag, you're being disrespectful to, if you're dressing as a woman, to women. If you're dressing as a man to men, you're being disrespectful to the entire trans community that don't have enough positive representation. So the fact that sometimes people would say that that's a punishment, and then you're just being disrespectful to that. As long as you're not treating it as items. Like, I know when we do events, as long as you don't treat the performer as a prop, as something that's just like a party novelty. So as long as you don't do that, I have no doubt that your intent is beautiful, and you are a queen. So
We
you'll
are
be
all
perfectly fine.
fans.
I say put effort into it. That's the key.
Right?
Yeah,
Put
yeah.
effort,
Put effort
into it, and
Yeah.
find if you have a dress and you want to make it even more, add some sparkle to it.
You mean
Why don't
the
you add to your
emergency
theme?
ball
Find
gowns that I have?
Oh, emergency ball gown.
Okay.
It's very funny that you mention emergency ball gowns, because every now and then I get a text from Empress Claudia Silva over here, and it could be 10 o'clock at night, and she is around the house with the Roomba wearing a gown. Legit.
Cleaning in heels?
Yeah, well, I watched the
Well, the
Roomba
Roomba
do
was
it.
on.
The Roomba does it.
But I think it wasn't last night, it was the night before. I think I got maybe 6 pictures from her. She's like, look at this. And she's just walking around the house, like, what do you think about this dress? Oh, I just got this. What do you
I
think
got
about this?
all these things that just came in the mail on the same day. I was like, this is extraordinary. Lysol spray everything, and then like let's
And then
kind of
boom.
You know what a fun theme would be if you want to do drag? You can pick like big drag figures from history, and everybody has to do a different one, and that can be your best in
Okay,
theme.
now my birthday's the day before Halloween, so would
That-
that season make it?
It'd make it easier to get.
I
some.
know,
Yeah.
that's what I feel like. But again, like my crew, we are all very much, supporters and allies in the community.
Then I think
Or
it'd be great.
fun
It's
thing.
only offensive if you see, and it's offensive to so many people. Like if you see a guy dressing, and the joke is that he has the dress on. That
Right,
it's so
right, right.
hilarious
Yeah.
that he'd have a dress on. It's like, why?
Yeah.
And you are offending so many different people. Or if they have like crazy proportions, or just
Right.
people know when they're offensive.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
A fun idea, since you're all fans of Drag Race.
Yeah.
Everyone picks their favorite Drag Race superstar,
Ah.
and maybe put the name in a hat, and then you have to pick out who you have to
Yes.
impersonate.
Great.
Yes.
That's
yes.
smart.
Yes.
I think that could be a cool idea. Or pick a specific. You can pick
Season
your
or-
specific queen that you want to like. Trixie Mattel. I love her
Yes.
makeup because it's so big and so over the top and fabulous.
I love Tatiana. Still, I think she's absolutely
She's
stunning.
from, like, what,
and I love
season 2?
Valentina. She's
Valentina.
she's gorgeous.
See, I love Valentina because right now
Oh,
everyone
she's
can
just
be
like-
Valentina with the mask. And be like,
Right.
I'd like to keep this on.
Yeah.
Right.
Eliminated.
She was ahead of her time.
But she knew
Ahead
this
of her
was
time.
coming. Yeah, I think that could be a fun idea, maybe.
Thank
I love that idea.
That's great.
Fun fact, I just did a bachelorette party last weekend. This lady was getting married to her husband, and one of her bridesmaids was like, we love Drag Race, can you come and surprise them? I'm like, okay. So they booked me, I went, and I did a little bachelorette, so yeah. If you need anything, Claudia and I are here.
Awesome. Yeah.
Send us a DM, maybe we can book, we'll talk to our agent,
That's right.
our momager,
Momager.
Chris Jenner.
Sophia Loren. Very strict.
Any other questions? You had a question for a sec? Or no, not anymore? No, we're good. Perfect.
Any other questions? That's it. Let's wrap this up.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank you
providing
for-
this.
Oh my
community.
gosh, so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for providing us this community. It's amazing.
And oh wait, no, Big Daddy didn't give us a shout out for this one.
I told you I don't know.
The mayor.
Huh.
Oh,
Who's come? Big Daddy. Big Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah.
Girl.
oh, he didn't give you a shout out.
Not
gave us a
but he
shout
gave
out.
us a shout out for our drag brunch.
Oh,
So
okay.
Big
All
Daddy,
right.
thank you so much. That's his name now. Big Daddy, the mayor of Niagara Falls. I love Macy Manolo.
I am not calling you daddy.
I will call him Dad.
Thank you, Macy and Claudia, for an absolutely fun and fabulous evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight, to our friends and neighbors that are sitting on the lawn. You saw our grandbaby Elliot scooting around trying to get up there. Maybe in another year or so we'll bring him out to an event.
Yay.
And I just want to give a shout out to my Aunt Shirley in the States who couldn't be here today for obvious reasons. And also to the City of Niagara Falls Cultural Development Fund for the grant that sponsors Stories from the Porch. I hope everybody has an amazing night, and we'll see you next week. We have, who do we have next week? Michael Clarkson with Dan Hill and Kip Finn talking about stories of the Niagara River. Have a great night.
Bye.